Hello my friends, welcome back to the Backrooms channel. I'm still kind of sick, I apologize. Today I want to talk to you about Backrooms Level 110, and this one involves black holes, space, and the excruciating heat death of the universe. Nice. And more importantly, we will officially get to see what happens if you open up a black hole inside of the Backrooms. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around for the explanation. I'd love to have you along the ride. And let's discuss this level and end off this year's Backrooms Summer Spectacular with a black hole that swallows everything, shall we? The page of level 110, which is also known as Everlasting End, begins with this quote: "Dedicated to my deceased friends, Nathaniel Lucia in memoriam." And the level has been documented as a class Schwarzschild, which might not make any sense, but I'll explain in a second. The level is unsafe with boundless profundity, and it just is everlasting darkness. Now that is a crazy classification to have. There's literally not another level that has it. It's very unique, but let me explain just for a second what all that means. Schwarzschild is the classification, and that comes from the name of the guy, Karl Schwarzschild, who was a German physicist and astronomer, and more accurately as it relates to this level, Schwarzschild has a black hole named after him, and apparently it's the simplest kind of black hole. Apparently Karl Schwarzschild posited that black holes do not have angular momentum, and that they do not rotate. And as far as I can tell, he essentially proposed this theory in order to solve Einstein's equation of general relativity. I think. I'm not an astronomer, but I'm sure one of you amazing people will correct me in the comments below. But that is why this level has the Schwarzschild classification. The main part of level 110 takes place inside of a behemoth, tubular, donut-shaped city that surrounds a black hole. The diameter and the size of this city and circle thing cannot be measured fully. It's just too big, but it's estimated to be about 1,000 AU, or astronomical units, in size. For reference on how big that actually is, 1 light year is 63,000 AUs. So it's pretty large, but it's not, crazy, unholy, infinite. Now, obviously, if you're reading this from the perspective of me, this entire level's existence makes no sense, right? It shouldn't be able to be right on top of a black hole without getting sucked in, and much less you shouldn't be able to come here and visit. But this place does exist, and despite all the natural laws that we know, you can come to level 110 if you want to. Think of this entire structure that surrounds the black hole as a giant donut-shaped city, and inside the donut, where that hole is, that's where the black hole sits. There's a glowing, luminescent blue color that emits from the black hole's edge, and it kind of gives a eerie light to the entirety of the donut. And that's really the only natural light here, since we are in space and far away from any other light. Now, the city is not actually on top of the giant floating ring, it's actually inside of its hollowness. It's like a 3D shape, kinda. And it's very vast and it's very expansive. If you've ever seen Star Wars, this is like Coruscant, but ring-shaped. The city itself is somehow inside of the ring, and like I said, it just seems to be there. Each part of the city is connected to each other by a giant hatch door, and every section is about 50 kilometers in length. The buildings here are massive, but they are empty and they're sterile, and they seem to be abandoned. The hallways are futuristic but plain, often comprised of nothing more than metal and electronic plates. Whatever the case is, it seems like something caused this level to be abandoned very quickly at some point in the distant past, but I don't know what that is, and I don't think the level's gonna tell us what it is, but that's what it seems like. All of the sections in this city are just nameless and orderless. There's no map to anything. You'll just have to search it all for yourself. You can tell though while exploring this place that the city at one point used to be futuristic. It seems like a place of commerce and livelihood, but now it just echoes with nothing. It's completely empty and abandoned in the middle of space. The gravity inside of this donut city is weird too, because objects that are near the inner wall of the space ring, they have high gravity levels, so you're gonna get kind of sucked towards the wall, But once you get to the center of the city, the gravity reaches near zero, and it's like some sort of centrifugal force. You can kind of jump really high, and you can fall from high places and climb up buildings. It's very strange. Through each section of the city, you're gonna come across a multitude of abandoned structures. These can range from housing complexes to old cafeterias, to hallways, to laboratories, literally anything you'd expect in a space city. And the vibe of this level is that it was abandoned eons ago by some kind of futuristic race. It truly feels like you're on some kind of Star Wars ship that's this giant civilization. The entire vibe is just terrible, and most of the place is devoid of oxygen, so you can't even breathe. And on top of that, you're in space, so it's freakishly cold. The temperature inside of the city is usually in the upper -40s. So if you even want to come to level 110 and just to say you've been here to explore it, you're gonna have to have your own special spacesuit in order to have oxygen and to survive the freezing cold temperatures. Through the entire donut shape as well, while you're exploring the city, you'll notice that some of the sections have gigantic tears and ruptures that face outwards towards space. Like I said, the city is inside of the ring, but some of these places have been like shot out or clawed out or fallen apart, and they expose the outer area. These are the places that create vacuums that can cause certain chambers to suck you out to space, where you will die. There is no life on this level. It is completely barren and hellish in every sense of the word. The entire level is an empty metal tomb looking out towards a sinister black hole. No one knows where this level actually takes place, if it's in Earth's solar system or if it's just in the deep forgotten areas of space, but it's assumed that it's so far out in the multiverse that no one cares enough to come rescue it or take it where it used to be. Theories on what the level is range from things I mentioned in this video, like a former futuristic colony. Some people think it's also Earth's last attempt to get to space to survive. Some think it's some kind of subhuman or superhuman species that used to live here or used to explore deep space. Some people think it's an abandoned prison complex where they used to send people that were too dangerous to live on planet. Whatever the case is, no one else lives here. Seems like all the inhabitants either left or got sucked out to space to die. One of the weirdest parts of the level, though, is why the black hole is not bringing the donut-shaped colony into it. For some reason, it seems to repel the gravitational pull, and it's just sitting there on top. Now, you yourself can get pulled out of the donut and sucked into the black hole. We don't know where it leads. I'm assuming to the void or something. But you yourself can do that, but it won't do it to the structures. The only way to enter this level is by walking around level 78, which is another space level, pretty similar to this one. And then if you go on that level and you find a porthole that's glowing blue, you can jump through that. And to exit, you literally cannot exit this level unless you sacrifice whoever is with you. That's right, you can't leave the death donut in space unless you kill your partner or your friend or whoever you brought. And if you came alone, you're gonna die. There are no bases here, there's no outposts here, there's no life, no entity, nothing can survive here, and neither can you. Several people think that this black hole will eventually give way and begin to consume all of the physical matter around it. And it's already gargantuan in size, so let's just say for fun that it starts to devour Backrooms levels. If that's the case, then this singular level, level 110, could be the end of the Backrooms because it could literally take in and devour the actual material that the Backrooms is, and it could eventually suck it all in. Pause, that's sus, I know, but that's the theory. But at least now you know what happens if a black hole were to open up in the Backrooms, because it already has. There's hardly any more information than what I talked about today in this video on the page, and we really don't have any theories beyond what I've mentioned as to what is going on here, but this giant space colony donut is one of the most enigmatic levels in the Backrooms that I've seen and that I've talked about on the channel, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you have an opinion on what this level is or how it came to be here, leave in the comments below. I'm pretty interested. And with all that said, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you watching to the end. If you did enjoy it, leave a like. If you want more levels, of course, tell me in the comments which ones I should cover, and I'll get to them eventually, probably. Thank you for all your support across all these years, across all my channels. If you want to continue to do so, the best way is to subscribe and to leave a like on the video. They're both free to do, and they both help me out tremendously. If you want more content from me, check out my Spoogly channel. That's my other channel where I do like deep dive documentaries and that kind of thing. I got a ton of stuff coming on there, as well as this channel on Broogly. Tons of stuff coming all around. New series, new ideas, and I'm hoping you guys are going to stick around for the whole thing. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed hearing about deadly black holes, because that's what this video is about. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!